NCAA qualifier. Even though he might not be, the go-to, he shows that he can go out and put together victories for the Hawkeyes.
Joey Cruz, a junior from Fresno, California, transferred to the Hawkeyes after 1 year at Oklahoma. We're underway here at 125 from Iowa City. 10th ranked Jory Vulk coming off a 4-1 sudden victory win over 16th ranked Nicolas Rivera of Wisconsin last weekend. Joey Cruz in on a shot. Nice re-attack there from Vulk.
Good, nice little setup there. He got Vulk stepping to get to that sweep single. Can he finish it? He has the leg elevated.
Vulk trying to hang on. Now Cruz has to go to work him to the mat. Early action from the unranked junior.
This is what I talked about for Joey Cruz and why he's can step into the lineup and be dangerous for the Hawkeyes. As we see some defense there. Wow. From Jory Vulk.
Jory Vulk able to stay out of that trip single from Joey Cruz. Now Jory still trying to hang on and avoid the three-point takedown toward the edge of the mat. Joey still pushing, and they will step out.
There's some good defense there from Vulk to get his leg back to the mat. Almost got Cruz out of position. And they work out of bounds, and now they get to go back up on their feet, which is, after that little flurry, is where Vulk might want to be.
Now, what did you see from Joey Cruz there? Again, he was an NCAA qualifier a year ago, but no longer the go-to at 125 for the Hawkeyes. What did he do there in that first flurry to give himself a chance at 3 points?
Absolutely timed the step from Vulk perfectly to hit a beautiful sweep single to that right side. And sometimes that's all you need. You don't necessarily need to tie up. If you can time your opponent's steps with your shot, you'll see what you got there with Joey Cruz.
As for Jory Vulk, of course he is the favorite, 10th ranked in the country at 125. What's made him so good this season that's put him in the top 10 at 125?
It's his ability to wrestle consistently. As we see him drop down to a leg, he's in deep on that single. He gets the leg hooked.
Joey still hanging on to that foot of Jory. There's the 3 points.
But it's wrestling like that. He's stayed consistent. He lost to number 1 Nick Bazakis, or former number 2 now, I believe, Nick Bazakis, in sudden victory. He took one of the top-ranked individuals that far and has wins over other top-ranked wrestlers at 125. The inconsistency is where, he's dropping matches to those lower or unranked individuals. But if he can stay consistent, no matter who he steps out against, Jory Vulk will be somebody to watch come March.
Joey Cruz trying to avoid being turned for back points. As the first period expires, Jory Vulk a 3-0 lead after the takedown with under 60 seconds left in that first period.
Both wrestlers got to their shots early. Jory Vulk's the only one able to finish. Good offense in the first period from both these wrestlers.
Second period, Jory Vulk chooses bottom.
You saw Joey Cruz scooping that ankle with his left leg, looking for a high ankle ride. What he needed to do there was try to elevate it up and pressure Vulk forward, but Vulk able to work himself out and get an escape.
Jory Vulk, a senior from Lakeville, Minnesota, spent his first 3 seasons at Wyoming before transferring to the Golden Gophers this season. 2024 All-American, finished 7th place, 2-time national qualifier, was the Big 12 champion in 2024 as well.
He's an impressive wrestler. Like you mentioned, that Big 12 title, that year saw him earn his only All-American honor he's had in his career so far. And Jory Vulk's looking to try to get back to it. As we see Cruz pressuring on the edge of the mat. You can see the ref telling Vulk action. But this Hawkeye crowd wanting to...
Well, there's some action for Jory Vulk. 3-point takedown after the Hawkeye fans wanted to stall. But he extends his lead 7-0 for Minnesota.
Nice little back trip he got there to knock Cruz off balance and able to just keep pressuring into him to get the takedown.
Now Jory Vulk building on that riding time. And with short time here, Joey going to have to really go to work to try and get back to his feet and save a point.
He's got to peel that grip off of that left wrist. Does a nice little wrist roll out of that. And as we've seen a lot this year, Jory Vulk going to the tight waist and a claw, as that's going to end the second period.
Jory Vulk another takedown, and he extends his lead to 7. As we prepare for the third period, Joey Cruz will choose neutral. Now what does Joey need to do here in this third period to try and claw his way back into this match?
He had tremendous pressure on the edge of the mat in that second period, but what he needs to find is that sweep single or a shot. Even if it's not the sweep single, he's got to set up a shot and get to his offense, similar to how he did from the get-go in this match.
I was going to mention, he had a good attack there early on in the first period. Got to the single leg quickly, just wasn't able to finish.
He's doing a good job of trying to get Vulk to move. He's also throwing in a couple fakes there, as we see an attempt at a ankle pick to no avail. But Vulk is doing a good job of avoiding the stall call by circling and not just walking straight back. He's doing a good job of circling. And then there's a shot that'll delay any potential stall calls as it is offense.
Jory Vulk doing a good job of letting the clock run here in this final period as well. Joey not able to find any clean shots yet. And once again, like you said, Vulk circles back, center of the mat. Cruz trying to find any opening with under 40 seconds left in this third period.
At this point, being down 7-0, you almost got to try to take Vulk feet to back and hope you can get a fall out of it. I mean, if you can go feet to back, you get your 4 plus. You would get your 4 near fall plus the 3 takedown, so you'd at least maybe force overtime. But with riding time now locked up, it seems far-fetched.
Under 10 seconds remaining. Cruz running out of time against Jory Vulk, who will pick up his 17th win of the season. Jory Vulk for the Minnesota Golden Gophers secures the 7-8-0 major decision win.
Big bonus point win there to start off for Minnesota, getting the major decision. As we see this replay here, Knight, reaches with his inside leg to get the trip, knocks Cruz off balance, gets the takedown.
It will be Chris Cannon for the Minnesota Golden Gophers taking on 9th-ranked Drake Ayala. Drake able to get back into the win column last weekend against Nebraska, one he desperately needed.
He looked great last week against Nebraska. He looked like the Drake people have been wanting to see in his matches against Marcus Blaze, against Evan Frost, against Ben Davino even. Look for him to try to keep that momentum up here in this one.
I mean, what really impressed you about that win against Van D? I mean, 12-6 victory for him. He had been through the ringer, facing a lot of really tough ranked wrestlers. But in that one, Drake Ayala technically picked up an upset win against Jacob Van D as he's in on a shot, double leg, wrapped up, 3-point takedown for Drake Ayala.
That's what impressed me. He gave up an early takedown in the first, ended up being down 3-1 at the end of the first period, came back, got to his offense, and ended up getting that decision win, all those points. It's Drake's offense that impresses me the most about Drake.
Chris Cannon for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, a 7th-year senior, wrestled at Northwestern. 2-point reversal for Cannon. And he's got a lot of wrestling experience under his belt as he goes to work on Ayala.
That was a very quick reversal. He tried to throw legs in, but Drake was ready for it as he gets the escape here.
Cannon started his career at Northwestern, where he wrestled for the first 4 years of his career, then transferred to Michigan, only wrestled once there, then went back to the Wildcats for a year, and is now with the Minnesota Golden Gophers in his 7th year.
7th year. I mean, you've heard a lot of that with wrestlers who are here around COVID. You know, you have your Olympic red shirt, you have your any medical red shirt, and then you have that extra year of eligibility due to COVID.
You end up being able to really put together a career. Drake Ayala has the single leg, trying to find the second. He does, trips him up for a 3-point takedown.
Beautiful knee pull there from Drake Ayala. Ends up bringing it into a single leg, then doubling off for the double to get the takedown. And this is the Drake people have been wanting to see throughout this season. Wondering where this Drake has been. Between last week and now even tonight, I think that Drake they've been looking for has finally arrived. Chris
Cannon laid out on his stomach, trying to go back to work. Would love another reversal if you're Cannon. Was able to put together a nice flurry after the first takedown to score some points. But Drake able to fight right back and extend his lead.
That reversal was so quick. I missed it. I just saw
blink of an eye.
I blinked, I look up, and Cannon's on top getting a reversal.
Look at this turn from Ayala. Can't quite finish it off as the first period expires. But a great first period for Drake Ayala as he continues to look like the Drake Ayala we're used to.
Looked like Cannon was trying to go for an attempted Granby there. Drake almost caught him flat on his back, but good mat awareness from Cannon to roll through belly out so that way you don't give up any more points.
What does Cannon need to do here in this second period to kind of shorten the score before the third?
Have another quick reversal like he did in the first one would help, or a quick escape, and then finding your offense. We haven't really seen many shots from Cannon so far. All the offense has come from Drake. So if I'm Chris Cannon, 1, getting out from underneath immediately, 2, finding my offense, as we see a Granby roll there from Cannon to get the escape, making it 7-3.
Good sprawl from Drake, spins around, but the referee calls it off. And they're going to ask for the trainer to come out and take a look at Cannon. He is hurt.
I wonder if it looked like he grabbed his head on it, like immediately afterwards. I don't know if they bumped heads as Drake was trying to go around, or he caught a knee here. See what happens.
Well, it's before he tries to spin around.
Looked like it was on that shot attempt is what it looked like it was. He might have took a knee straight to the dome, or it could have been something because you saw he had his ankle up in the air. Could have been something with his legs very well too, but we saw him grab the head. That's where I gravitated to first.
Well, now, Coach Eggum asking for the coaches to give him a little bit of time here. And they're going to put Drake on bottom here.
So because
of that injury timeout.
Because of that injury timeout, Drake's going to get a choice. He's going to choose bottom, and he's going to go probably get an escape out of this, if not a reversal.
Cannon looking to put on a ride. Ayala back to his feet. Tripped back down by Cannon.
Cannon looks like he likes to throw legs in as we see that left leg in with the claw. Look for Drake to elevate that leg and back pressure into him if he can.
He's got the leg back to his feet, has Cannon floating in the air, but Cannon stays heavy on the midsection. Draws him back down. Ayala back to his feet, ripping the hands of Cannon off him, picks up the 2-point reversal.
Absolutely stellar wrestling from Drake Ayala. getting the reversal. It looked like he was trying to maybe get more as he had Cannon suspended in the air.
Right back to work. In on the double leg. Works him down to the mat. Got to let him get back to his feet. There's the reversal. So they didn't give him the three-point takedown because Cannon never broke free.
Separation is what you're looking for there with the two wrestlers. We've seen it in Ayala's match with Zan Fugit a few weeks ago. But because he didn't break that space, that's why there was no 3 awarded.
Ayala back in on the single leg, trips him up for 3 more. Drake Ayala will not be denied tonight.
He is putting it on often and early as we see that riding time now going over a minute as they go off the mat. Drake Ayala up 12-4 over Chris Cannon.
And he's putting on a clinic right now. Able to score at will. Chris Cannon will go down after they stepped out of bounds with 20 seconds remaining in this second period. What does Chris need to do to stay out of tech fall territory or major?
I don't want to say wrestle defensively because that doesn't make for a good match for anyone. But he has to try to limit the offense of Drake Ayala. I mean, it's been hard to do. We've seen Drake get into multiple takedowns and multiple shots. As we can hear the crowd wanting a stall call here near the end of the second period. You can see Drake trying to chop that arm, and Cannon just kind of holding steady there.
Go neutral. Ayala right back to his attack. Nice slide by. Flips him over. Cannon's able to roll through and dances around the attack from Ayala. Right back to work. Dances around the ankle pick.
I don't believe they gave Drake the 3 for constant motion.
There's the stall on Cannon. Ayala, 3-point takedown. Cuts him loose. He was looking for a tech. Back to the single leg. Edge of the mat wrestling. Drake Ayala looking for some big points for his team. 3-point takedown. Kept his toes on the mat. And Drake Ayala putting on a scoring clinic, exhausting the scoreboard.
He's been absolutely relentless, and this is what we've wanted to see from Drake. Crowd getting a little upset because they feel like Cannon's taking his time to come back to the center. As Drake lets the ref know, escape, so that way they go neutral again here.
Here's Cannon trying to trip up Ayala, and they're going to call potentially dangerous. Ayala slides by again. 3-point takedown. Drake Ayala, tech fall over Chris Cannon.
Absolutely beautiful offensive wrestling from Drake Ayala. Getting back in the win column last week against Nebraska, and now a bonus point victory, tech fall win. I think it's safe to say Drake Ayala
averaging sellouts.
Averaging a sellout, yeah. I wonder how close Iowa wrestling would be compared to Nebraska's sellout streak.
We don't need to start that debate live on Big Ten Plus. Now to 141. This is one of the marquee matchups of the night. 11th ranked Nasir Bailey for the Iowa Hawkeyes and 9th ranked Vance Vombar. And early on, Nasir Bailey needing an injury timeout, and I think his finger might have gone out of place and is somewhere where it's not supposed to be in his hand, and he's not even going to look as the trainer puts it back in place. But this is the matchup to watch. Both of these wrestlers incredible in their own right. Nasir Bailey, a junior from Park Forest, Illinois, 2-time Pac-12 champion when he was with Little Rock, 2-time NCAA qualifier, and for Vance Vombar. I mean, the accolades go on and on. 2-time All-American, finished 8th as the 6th seed in 2025, earned All-American honors at 141 as the 26th seed in 2024, and was named to the second team All-Big Ten a year ago. What are we in store for here at 141?
Vance Vombar brings firepower to the Minnesota Golden Gophers lineup. As you previously mentioned, 2-time All-American. 2 of his 4 losses this year, though, have come to #1 ranked Jesse Mendez, both bonus point losses. He gave up a loss by major decision and one by tech fall. But he has 4 wins in his last 5 matches, with 2 of them being bonus point wins, both of them being major decisions. He knows how to go out and score points. And that's what, if I'm on the Minnesota coaching staff with Coach Eggum, I know he's going to be an absolute offensive juggernaut.
Nasir Bailey getting his fingers taped up on his right hand, and he will head back out on the mat. Vombar will go down after the injury timeout. And we're ready for some fireworks here at 141.
Should be a very intriguing matchup. You know, like I said, it appeared Nasir Bailey had Brock Hardy taken down on the edge of the mat. At least the Iowa coaching staff certainly thought so. But an unsuccessful challenge ended up dropping that match to Brock Hardy 1-0. But Nasir Bailey showed he can contend with the top 10 wrestlers.
Bailey still against Vombar. And he will go down again out of the injury timeout. Bailey putting on a nice ride. Vombar able to roll through and get back to his feet to take a 2-0 lead. Now Nasir's really going to have to work through that finger issue, as he's already down 2-0, in large part due to the injury timeouts.
Indeed, it doesn't look like he wants to use that hand as much as he normally would want to. Vombar trying to get Bailey moving.
Now, if you're out there and you're Nasir Bailey, of course you're dealing with some pain, but how do you keep your mind off that and just focus on wrestling?
I would say if I was Nasir Bailey, I would feel the feeling of winning trumps the feeling of pain. You have to go out there and get to your offense that we've seen him get to with the likes of Brock Hardy and who we saw get a takedown on Brandon Davis to get the lone win against Penn State. You got to push that feeling of pain to the side and focus on offense and getting to it.
Yeah, that win against Braden Davis, the only one for the Hawkeyes against Penn State, a 3-2 decision win. A massive upset for Nasir Bailey, but then end up falling to third-ranked Brock Hardy of Nebraska last weekend in a 1-0 decision. Looking to get back in the win column here tonight.
Looked like he was behind Vombar there for a moment, just can't capitalize on the positioning.
Vombar coming off a loss to top-ranked Jesse Mendez last weekend, but then bounced back a couple days later against Carson Exford of Wisconsin. Picked up a major decision win against the Badgers.
Outside of his losses to Mendez, his other 2 came against Northern Iowa's Corey Land, who recently suffered a season-ending injury, I believe, and he also lost to 20th-ranked Julian Tagg, as we see a single-leg shot here from Vombar.
Trying to pick it up and drive Bailey down to the mat, but Bailey able to spin around. And they're going to stop action there.
Time was out. Clock was done, so it's
gotten to a pretty good attack, and Bailey's just trying to muscle his way through this injury.
Like I said, you got to put that pain to the side and find a way to get points here now, being down 2-0.
Vombar able to spin out and leads 3-0 over Nasir Bailey. And this is a big match for both of these wrestlers, so closely ranked at 141. Both of them have some big wins this season against ranked opponents.
It's a good measuring stick match when you also factor in, Brock Hardy, you got Joey Oliveri of Rutgers, Jesse Mendez, all of these wrestlers. And Brandon Davis is still a top wrestler here at this weight. When you think about come first week of March, we got Big Tens in State College. It's a good measuring stick to see where you rank in your weight class for conference as well as nationals afterwards.
A stall warning against Nasir Bailey. He's going to have to go to work. Again, fighting through that finger injury. Vombar in on that single leg, trying to drive forward. Bailey hangs on to the right leg of Vombar. Vombar can't find the other leg of Bailey, continuing to spin around edge of the mat. Still working his way back toward the mat, and a three-point takedown for Vance Vombar as he takes a 6-0 lead.
That's what you want to see if you're the Minnesota coaching staff. Getting to the offense, putting up the points. Vombar out in front of this one as he works down the riding time now.
"20 seconds left in the second period as they step out right in front of the Minnesota bench. And Bailey's going to take his time, stretch out that finger.
Bailey's got to find something from underneath. I know the pain of that finger must be excruciating, but you still got to be able to work through it and get those points that you need to win the match.
And even taking the 1,000-step foot back for the Hawkeyes, they've had a lot of injuries this season. A lot of athletes have to take some time off to recover. The last thing you want to see is your 141-pounder go down as well. Second period expires. Vombar leading 6-0. But what would a win for Vance Vombar here mean for his season at 141?
Well, in his career, he has a losing record against the Hawkeyes, so this would actually make it 500 against Iowa wrestlers. But it would actually bode very well for him, you know, win against while he might not be top 10, a top 15 ranked individual definitely bodes well. As we see here, they're going to give Bailey the escape. Looked like he had the leg up in the single for a reversal, but only gets the escape out of it as he drives Vombar off the mat.
How about Nasir getting to an attack? Despite the pain, trying to wrestle through and pick up an upset win over Vombar, but you're absolutely right for Vance. Even for him, it wouldn't be considered an upset win against a guy so closely ranked in the top 15. Only bodes well in your resume getting ready for the Big Ten tournament, and of course looking even further down the line with the national tournament ahead.
Absolutely, and you see Vombar, even though he's up by 5, he's still stalking Bailey, trying to find some offense. He's not just going to let Bailey dictate the pace. He's going to stay on the offense.
60 seconds remaining at 141. Here's a shot from Vombar. Got to give credit to Bailey, staying out there and trying to wrestle through this. He'll at least save the forfeit points, but there's another stall against Bailey. That'll give a point to Vombar.
He needs to stay on the aggression.
There's an attack from Vombar. Bailey playing defense, picks up one leg. Vombar, though, flattens him out for 3 points.
Got a high thigh ride with that left. Looks like with that left leg he's got, trying to, I don't know if he's just trying, Vombar's just trying to hold on right now because he knows he has the major locked up.
It looks like that is what he's going to do with 3 seconds left. Vance Vombar, a massive ranked win for the Minnesota Golden Gopher as they retake the lead on the team score. A ranked win for the redshirt senior.
Vance Vombar.
Tournament down to 149. 16th ranked rider block for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Will take on 24th ranked Drew Roberts. Rider block is coming off a massive win over Chance Lamer of Nebraska, a pin. And that really ignited this Hawkeye squad and put together a nice win for Tom Brands, his 300th in his career.
Absolutely getting to work. You know, we've heard Tom Brands say it a lot about rider block. You know, this is why we recruited him. We knew it was there, and now we're seeing it come out in his wrestling. Rider block proven to be one of the biggest stories of this Hawkeye wrestling team this year.
A sophomore from Waverly, Iowa, 7-3 this season. And that pin, just his second in a Hawkeye singlet, his second this season. The other one came against Cade Craig of Utah Valley at the Journeyman Wrestling Uncivil War. On the other side, though, it's Drew Roberts, redshirt senior from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Tied for the team lead in Big Ten matches. This is his 5th match against Big Ten opponents. And this season, 6-5 overall, 4-3 in duels, 2-2 against Big Ten opponents. Does have a couple of majors this season.
That he does, and he's also, I'm guessing he's 2-2 in his last 4 matches, all coming against Big Ten opponents. He's dropped his last 2, though, straight. He lost to number 15 ranked Joe Zargo of Wisconsin 4-1. As we see Roberts in on a single leg. He's got the leg elevated, looking for a trip.
Wow.
Sits blocked down on the edge of the mat, gets a takedown. And his other loss was to number 4 ranked Ethan Stiles of Ohio State 6-0.
A great job following that shot. It looked like Ryder was going to get away, but Roberts was able to stay with it, picked up the single leg, tripped him up for 3 points.
This goes back to what we were talking about earlier, what Minnesota needs to do to hopefully get a win over the Hawkeyes here. You need to go out and wrestle, tune out this Carver-Hawkeye crowd, tune out what you're seeing from Hawkeye wrestlers from benches as an escape, and right in on a deep shot goes Ryder Block.
Wasted no time of Block.
What Block needs to do here now is he needs to try to elevate one of the legs and pull down on the other. He needs to turn back into it. He shouldn't. I mean, we're going to get the stalemate, which is what Roberts was wrestling for there. But now if you're Ryder Block, you should get right back in on that shot.
Now for Drew Roberts, what does he need to do to pull off an upset against Ryder Block, who, like you said, has been the storyline for the Iowa Hawkeyes this season, real guiding light for them?
Keep doing what you're doing. Stay on the pressure, stay offensive, limit points where you can, as he's done a great job of defending shots there, as we see him just pretty much stand Block up on Block's ankle pick attempt. If I'm Drew Roberts, I'm doing exactly what I've been doing.
And escapes the first period with a 3-1 lead. He will go down to start the second. Ryder Block looking to continue his fantastic season. Work his way up at 149. Roberts back to his feet. Block won't let him go easily. Nice mat return.
It's been one of the highlights from Ryder Block this year is his mat returns and how just aggressive he is on top, as well as his offense. You know, Iowa, I mean, going up against Penn State's tough, but Iowa only landed 2 takedowns in that whole duel, and one of them came from Ryder Block on the #1 ranked wrestler in the country. So you know your offense can take down the very best. Keep using it.
Able to hold him down onto the mat, able to flatten him out. Great job by Block. Trying to work that riding time.
Block is doing an absolutely stellar job of driving Roberts flat. As we see that claw series, the claw ride.
Another mat return from Ryder Block.
I know you might not have been able to see it on TV, but from where we were sitting, Ryder Block did an absolutely stellar chain wrestling veteran move. As he came down with the mat return, he instantly went and grabbed a wrist to pull it in to try to use it to his advantage. Roberts able to wrist roll out, but that is just smart, high-level chain wrestling we're seeing from Ryder Block.
Just a sophomore. Had 159 wins in high school, only lost once in his high school career. Did not compete his true freshman year. Came back as a redshirt freshman, put together a 2-4 record. But this season as a sophomore has really burst onto the scene, especially at the national duels.
He's looked absolutely amazing. That was kind of his emergence of Ryder Block, was that national duels where he looked absolutely stellar. But now, being down by a takedown, you got to find those points.
He absolutely does. I mean, He picked up ranked wins against Josh Edmond and Casey Swiderski at the national duels, but would love to continue that momentum here tonight in front of the home crowd. But Drew Roberts giving him all he can handle. Short time here in the second period. Roberts still leading by 3, and he'll hold on to it going into the third. What does Ryder Block need to do here to avoid the upset?
Well, he's going underneath, so you got to get the escape to start, and then you got to get to your offense. Ryder Block is at his best when he is executing his offense. It's some of the best stuff we've seen. When we called the Iowa Penn State duel for the radio. When he got that takedown on Van Ness, we had a glimmer of hope for him in that match. He is at his absolute stellar best when he's getting those shots and finishing them.
Towards the edge of the mat, Block having a tough time getting to his feet as Drew Roberts stays heavy and draws him out.
Drew Roberts increasing the pressure from the top position, not giving Block anything to work with. Ryder's got to find that pressure that he is giving him and use it to his advantage.
Ryder nearly able to escape, but Drew Roberts stays with him. Block back to his feet and driven off the mat.
He's done a good job of staying in good position and maintain that top position. On that edge of the mat, he didn't let Block have any space, driving him off the mat. They come back. Block is still down underneath.
Block able to escape. 2-point match. He needs a takedown to take the lead. Drew Roberts trying to hang on for a massive upset win.
The Hawkeye faithful starting to get loud. They know in high pressure moments what their wrestlers are capable of, and you will hear them get loud. If you're Drew Roberts, you got to tune out that noise and wrestle the smartest 55 seconds now you've ever wrestled.
Block, edge of the mat. Roberts pushing him towards the edge. Block trying to find something with 45 seconds left. Flips around and they go out.
Now remember, no stall calls against either wrestler here. Block needs to be on the aggression.
Just over 30 seconds remaining. Roberts sprawls out on the attack. Block's gonna have to move quick. Drew Roberts trying to hang on for a massive win. Block going in for the trip. Staying strong on top with 20 seconds remaining.
He's got to hip in here or come with a mean crossface right across the way to try to get this takedown.
Edge of the mat with 10 seconds remaining. Roberts still has a toe in, but they didn't call him out. 3 seconds left. Block, last breath, won't be there. Drew Roberts upset win over Ryder Block, and the Golden Gophers have extended the lead.
Smart wrestling there from Drew Roberts, able to get the upset win over the Hawkeyes. Ryder Block, absolutely stellar final minute.
The Iowa Hawkeyes 11-5 through the first 4 matches, as we are now ready for 157. 12th ranked Jordan Williams for the Hawkeyes and 21st ranked Charlie Millard for the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Can Minnesota continue this momentum that the front half has put on?
They're going to have to, because you and I both know that second half for Iowa is loaded from top to bottom. Any one of those back half can score bonus points. So if I'm Minnesota, I'm getting out early and trying to stay ahead as much as I can.
Now, Jordan Williams has put together a heck of a season so far for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Originally was committed to Oklahoma State. He was there his true freshman year, then went to Little Rock, where he had a fantastic season, was Big 12 runner-up at 149 pounds, and but now this year, he is a 2-time NCAA qualifier, once with Oklahoma State, once with Little Rock. Now with the Iowa Hawkeyes, has put together an 8-4 record so far, as here's a shot from Millard. Jordan Williams trying to stay out of the 3 points. Williams coming off a 2-1 sudden victory loss to Antrell Taylor of Nebraska as Millard picks up 3 points.
He's usually one of the best at not giving up the takedowns, as we now see him in on the legs of his own. He gets a reversal. Now we have an escape. 4-2 lead for Millard.
Great wrestling there from Williams, able to take 2 points back and make it a 2-point match. Early action here at 1:57.
Minute 10 left to go. We see a shot attempt there from Williams. I mean, Williams, he's 8-4, like you've said, this year. He's lost his last 2 matches to Antrell Taylor, 2-1. He was in that match, but got deemed with a stall call in sudden victory, which, you know, gave Antrell Taylor the win, and then he lost to P.J. Duke of Penn State 4-2. But I think the most intriguing stat for Jordan Williams is all of his losses this year have come to top 10 wrestlers.
I mean, he has been able to go toe-to-toe and hang in there, but he's still looking for that win against a top 10 ranked wrestler. But he's going to have his hands full today with Charlie Millard as he's up 4-2 already against the junior. Millard, just a redshirt freshman from Wisconsin, was named Big Ten Freshman of the Week. Last weekend against Wisconsin, picked up a win over 26th ranked Luke Meckler. But in that match against Ohio State, did lose to top-ranked Brandon Cannon, and also lost to Antrell Taylor, but he was pinned.
Yep, pinned by Antrell Taylor. Lost 12-6 to Brandon Cannon. I mean, the 2-time Wisconsin State champion last year in his redshirt year, he did record the most falls for the Golden Gophers. And that in and of itself is impressive, because you go out and you show, even in your redshirt year, wrestling unattached, that you can go out and score bonus points.
Second period underway. Williams chooses bottom. I mean, Millard seriously has some potential here with the Minnesota Golden Gophers. I mean, like you said, his redshirt year was fantastic, was named Big Ten Freshman of the Week in his redshirt season. This year, 14-5 overall, 2-2 against Big Ten opponents. Has 4 tech falls and 3 majors this season.
He's looked absolutely stellar. Now he's putting on a good ride here on Jordan Williams. He threw a boot in with his left leg, hooking that leg. He's trying to get, he almost had a power half, was looking for back points. But now he's trying to find anything he can to get a turn on Jordan Williams.
Millard working Williams toward the Tiger Hawk logo. Williams trying to break free, get back to his feet. He does. Now it's to break free of the grasp. Millard brings him back down to the mat. Williams fights back to his feet. And he's able to break free, back to a 1-point match.
Millard doing a good job of building up that riding time so far in the beginning half of this second period. He's got it at 1:15. And a 1-point lead. Jordan Williams, he's got to find that offense as we see a shot attempt here.
Nice shot by Millard to re-attack. Has the right ankle of Williams. Who's going to be able to kick out first and pick up 3 points? Williams hanging on to that ankle, trying to avoid the 3-point takedown as Millard has worked his way to the top. Now Williams able to roll through. 10 seconds remaining in the second period.
In a scramble position like this, high hips always win.
Williams continue to hang on to the ankle, but the second period will expire with no points scored on that scramble.
Officials Frank Johnson and Nicholas Grosso doing a great job. They were there watching the entire time, making sure it stayed clean. They kept improving, so it wasn't a stalemate, and it didn't meet the criteria for a 3-point takedown for Williams, as we now see an escape to start the third from Millard.
What does Williams need to do here to avoid back-to-back upsets?
Offense, offense, offense. You know, they moved it to, they changed the scoring from 2-point takedowns to 3-point takedowns to reward offensive wrestling. So you got to get to that offense.
Millard, another shot. Williams dances around it. Another fake attack with 1:20 remaining.
And with the riding time right now, it is essentially 6-3 as it stands right now. So a takedown and at least a 13-second ride for Jordan Williams is key here to maybe getting a win for the Hawks.
He's going to have to go to work with just over 60 seconds remaining. Another scramble position here. Williams able to wrap around, trying to roll through. Millard able to stay on top and cover for 3 points. Now he's trying to get a roll here. Williams trying to bridge out of a pin. Millard in deep on a shot. Looking for massive team points, an even bigger upset for the Golden Gophers. 30 seconds remaining. Millard still hanging in tough, deep in on the shot.
Wicked mean crossface here from Millard. I know it looks like it's around the neck. It's still a crossface technically. And he's got the 4 back. It is at least 12-3 as it stands. With that riding time secured, it should be 13-3, I'm confident on. But Millard still looking for the fall here with 7 seconds left.
He's still trying to work it. He knows he's got the win. Locked up. Williams is going to bridge out, stay out of a pin, but a massive upset win for Charlie Millard. One of the biggest wins in his young career, and it silences the Hawkeye crowd again. Back-to-back upsets for the Golden Hawkeyes. He's been incredible in the black and gold ever since he's gotten to Iowa.
Indeed he has, and he's done it a lot against Andrew Sparks. He's 5-0 all-time against Sparks. 3 of those wins coming when he was at North Dakota State, but he got 2 wins last year against the Golden Gopher. And in that time, between their last 2 matches, Caliendo has outscored Sparks 28-10 in match points.
I mean, he likes to put pedal to the metal, Mikey Caliendo does. I mean, it's hard to outwork him because of his high motor, and he gets to his attacks quickly. And we've seen matches end in under a minute that aren't pins, and they're tech falls because he just gets to his attacks that quickly.
He's such a workhorse, and I know that could be part of the reason why he was brought in to Iowa City. Tom and Terry see something in him that they absolutely love. But you're also right. He is a bonus point machine. In his last 6 wins have been bonus points. He has 2 pins, 3 tech falls, and a major decision over those last 6 wins.
And for Andrew Sparks, 6th-year senior from Costa Mesa, California, this season 14-3, 2-1 against Big Ten opponents, has 2 tech falls and 3 major decisions. He's a 4-time national qualifier. Stall warning on Sparks early on. Was named most improved for the Minnesota Golden Gophers last year. And this season, as we said, 14-3, just 3 losses. And is coming off back-to-back wins against Patty Gallagher of Ohio State and Cody Gable of Wisconsin.
Both tough Big Ten wrestlers. As we see a nice little throw-by there from Caliendo. Gets the throw-by, grabs a hold of the legs, gets the takedown on Sparks. Sparks has actually won 8 of his last 9 matches. With that lone loss coming in number 7 ranked LJ Durje, I think is how we corrected the pronunciation. If that's not LJ, I'm sorry. Of Nebraska, LJ picked up a 9-2 win over Sparks.
And Mikey Caliendo will cut him loose. Mikey, a 3-time All-American, was runner-up last year, 4th place in 2024, 7th in 2023. So he's only improved in his national, and when it comes to the national championships at the end of the year, of course, looking to climb the mountaintop this season at 165 pounds.
Well, he's got a couple in his wake here as we see a single leg attempt here in the final 10 seconds. Can Caliendo finish it?
Breaks free of the grasp from Sparks. Now he's going to have to work up as Sparks is able to hold on in the midsection as the first period expired.
As I was getting ready to say, his only losses on the season, and if he wants to make a run at March, he's got 2 people in front of him. One he'll see, before the end of the regular season, Ladarian Lockett, number 2 of Oklahoma State, who Caliendo lost to down at the National Duels. He will get a rematch with him down in Stillwater at the end of February. And then, of course, Mitchell Messenbrink of Penn State, who we saw Caliendo lose to in their duel a few weeks ago.
An early 3-1 lead for Mikey Caliendo at 165. And Sparks is able to break free and make it a 1-point match. The Hawkeyes, they've relied on this second half of the lineup heavily this season, as there's a takedown for Mikey Caliendo. He'll cut him loose again. He knows exactly what he needs to get his team back into contention with the Gophers.
He understands the situation, and nobody does it better than Mikey Caliendo, except maybe Mitchell Messenbrink. But as we see another takedown, doubles off. See that exhale of wind there from Sparks. If you're Sparks, you got to keep that oxygen up, because Caliendo's just going to keep coming at you and coming at you.
Well, now Mikey's looking for a turn. Not going to cut him loose easily this time. Leading 9-3. The Hawkeyes would love to see some bonus points here at 165. There's a stalling on Sparks. That's another point for Mikey. Caliendo, 4 tech falls, 2 pins this season as he cuts him loose this time with 35 seconds remaining.
He's an aggressive wrestler here, as we see a reshot here from Sparks. But great defense here from Caliendo. He's got a nice whizzer in, holding onto his own ankle. Just adding that shoulder pressure here.
Great job by Sparks to hang on to that ankle. Mikey nearly kicked loose to pick up 3 points of his own, but a potentially dangerous is called. They'll go back to their feet. That looked like Caliendo was going to pick up 3 points and possibly more with how that was positioning.
Indeed it did. Sparks doing a good job of staying off his back here in the final 15 seconds of period number 2.
Mikey back in on an attack, picks up the single leg, runs him down to the mat for 3 points. Right at the buzzer, Mikey Caliendo takes a 13-4 lead into the final period.
Caliendo's going to choose bottom to start the third period. Up by 9. He's also got a minute and a half of riding time to his advantage.
Expect Mikey to be quick off the whistle here. Able to get back around and escape. And a 10-point lead for Mikey Caliendo.
Caliendo looking for his, it would be, if he can get it, it would be his second straight tech fall win over Sparks, but Sparks in deep on the leg.
Trying to score some points himself with a minute and a half to go in this match. Sparks working the ankle. Caliendo trying to slip out. Now he goes in on a re-attack.
Like I said earlier, in these scramble situations, the person with the highest hips is going to get the points. As we see Sparks trying to elevate those hips over Caliendo. Caliendo gets his hips up off the mat. This is a better position than he was originally in.
Mikey's got to try and kick free. Sparks is trying to hang on to that ankle. Caliendo not going to score points here. Stalemate called.
He's still got time. We've seen Caliendo get to those shots so quickly. He still has time for these bonus points that the Hawkeyes are looking for.
Sparks right back on the attack. Caliendo trying to get a turn. Covers up. 3-point takedown for Mikey Caliendo. 17-4 lead. Riding time locked up for Mikey. Cuts him loose. Looking for the tech fall. It's some massive team points. Caliendo throws him by. Can't find the leg. 25 ticks remaining. Right back to the attack. Single leg. Sparks able to spin around. Great defense from the Golden Gopher. Caliendo not done yet. Rolls through. Doesn't have the 3 points yet. Sparks hanging on to the leg with 5. Caliendo will pick up the major decision victory. An electric finish from Mikey Caliendo. Would have loved the tech fall, but will take the major decision.
That's good wrestling there from Sparks at the end to not give up the bonus points. But at the end of the day, Mikey Caliendo still getting a bonus point win. Major decision. And now the Hawkeye.
Patrick Kennedy the last few weeks has really been praised for his commitment to the Iowa Hawkeyes. He's been such a good wrestler, but has had to really wait his turn at 174. But despite some outside noise, he decided to stay with the Hawkeyes, and Tom and Terry Brands have really noticed that and have given him a lot of credit for sticking around, especially with where college sports has gone, where a lot of guys will up and move if they aren't in the starting lineup week 1. But Patrick Kennedy has stuck around, and it has really paid off. Ranked 3rd in the country, 10-1 this season, coming off a massive win over Christopher Minto of Nebraska last weekend. And looking to continue the momentum here against Ethan Riddle, a redshirt sophomore from Germantown, Wisconsin. And Kennedy back in on an attack, 3-point takedown early on.
That was such a good chain wrestling move there from Patrick Kennedy. He had a 2-on-1 Russian tie, but didn't have the head position as Riddle was posting on his head. So what does he do? He changes pressures and goes to a shot on the other side of the leg and ends up getting a takedown.
Kennedy, very similar to Mikey Caliendo, a true workhorse, will work his opponent all the way to the end and always looking to score quickly.
Absolutely. He goes out and he puts points up on the board for the Hawkeyes. Not all the time, but he shows he can do it as he's looking to get double unders. Look for something big here maybe from Patrick Kennedy if he can get those hands locked.
Still trying to work it, Riddle able to slip by. Kennedy back to work on the single leg. Riddle picks up the ankle. Kennedy has to try and kick loose and cover up. Continues to drive him into the mat. And the stalemate called.
Riddle no slouch himself, though. He's won 4 of his last 6, with his losses in that span coming to number 4, Christopher Minto, who, as you mentioned, Patrick Kennedy beat an ultimate tiebreaker last week, 2-1. He lost to Minto 11-4, and he also lost to number 5 ranked Carson Karchla of Ohio State by tech fall 19-4.
Was able to bounce back last weekend though against Luke Condon of Wisconsin, an 8-3 decision win. But definitely has his hands full with Patrick Kennedy, who has got his eyes set on a national championship at the end of the year. He's a 3-time NCAA qualifier. Has taken 5th twice at the Big Ten Championships. Was runner-up last year at 165, or excuse me, in 2023 at 165, and placed 4th last season at the NCAA Championships. Back in on a shot, spins around for 3 points.
That was a great snap down to a front headlock position here in the final 10 seconds of the first period. Good snap down, front headlock, gets him moving around, goes around, gets the 3-6-1 lead for Kennedy after 1.
Great end of the first period for Kennedy, but what does Riddle need to do to make sure Patrick doesn't turn this into a track meet?
He's got to keep being, I don't want to say defensive, but his defense has to be better than what we've seen in that first period. It looked like Kennedy was able to get to his shots almost at will as we see him attempting a turn here. That's what you want to avoid if you're Ethan Riddle. You need to keep working up, and then when you're on your feet, doing a better job of, head and hands defense. You see him lower, you lower yourself. The hips are the biggest tell on when a wrestler's going to shoot.
Kennedy continuing to work on top, driving up the riding time up over a minute. Riddle back to his feet, able to break free. Well, not quite. There it is. There's the escape for Ethan Riddle. Kennedy tried another snap down, but great job by Riddle to stay heavy, stay on his feet.
And that's what I was talking about. You know, he's doing a good job of defending it. He felt the pressure from that snap down, and he knows, he's got to know by now when Kennedy's pressuring into him, if he pressures back too much, he's going to get snapped down just like he did now twice. I mean, the first time he gave up the takedown, this second time done a lot better job of defending it.
Riddle trying to find a shot, but Kennedy able to sprawl out. And once again, Ethan Riddle just unable to find any clean shots here on Kennedy. And what has Patrick done so well defensively to also make sure Ethan can't find anything open?
It hasn't mattered if it's a fake shot or a real shot. Kennedy has done a great job of reading the hips, noticing when Riddle's lowering his level. When he notices that, he lowers his level. He brings his heads and hands down, does a good down block, or sprawls back completely. Doesn't even give Riddle an opportunity to get to the legs.
Kennedy just continues to play great defense. And continues to wind this clock down. Now goes in on an attack again, has the knee of Riddle.
He's in deep on a single leg. Riddle's doing a good job. He's wrestling for a stalemate. The Hawkeye crowd doesn't like it. But in a situation like this, you know, you've already given up 2 takedowns, and you don't want to give up bonus points being up by 6. You'll wrestle for stalemates when you get in positions like that.
Well, if you're the Iowa Hawkeyes and you start to look ahead here with 184 and 197 coming up, if you're Patrick Kennedy, you'd love to be able to help out the rest of this backside and pick up some bonus points, but you also got to give credit to Ethan Riddle. He has played pretty tough defense. There's a stalling on Riddle, which will give Kennedy a point. And with riding time, he'll make it a 9-2 lead.
He still needs a takedown to get bonus points for the Hawkeyes. If the match even ends with this score, 9-2, that's only 7 points, and it's not enough for a major. Great single leg from Patrick Kennedy. He gets the much-needed takedown.
Exactly what the doctor ordered. And right on cue, Patrick Kennedy picks up the takedown, 15 seconds left. Now Riddle has to try and wrestle to avoid the major decision. Right now with riding time, it's 12-3.
If Riddle could get a takedown on Kennedy, 1, that's a great moral victory. 2, you avoid the major decision.
And the single leg, Kennedy sprawls out, and he will walk away with a major decision victory over 24th ranked Ethan Riddle. Bonus points for the Hawkeyes.
Patrick Kennedy goes out, does what he does best, and that's wrestle aggressively. That World Championships, he gets it done not only in folk style, but also freestyle as well. Not just at the college level, but also international.
2025 All-American McEnelly took 3rd place a year ago. Big Ten Freshman of the Year as a redshirt freshman. All Big Ten second-team honoree a year ago. And last year in Minneapolis, these two put on a show. McEnelly in deep on a shot after the trip single. Arnold trying to flip out of it. Now has the ankle of McEnelly trying to flip through for 3 points himself. And right out of the gates, quick action. And Coach Eggum is going to ask to challenge that call.
I think because he saw McEnelly with the right arm reach around the hips, he feels like that should be constituting a takedown.
I mean, talk about right off the whistle, quick action. Both McEnelly and Arnold, very twitchy wrestlers, very aggressive. And instant action at 184. Here's another look.
I mean, with the trip here, Gabe does a good job of rolling through for the most part, but about right here, I would say it's slow enough that it doesn't constitute continuous motion, which is what I believe Iowa's arguing. is that the reason why it wasn't called was continuous motion, which was what the refs called it.
We might have to see it in real time to get a real look on if it was continuous motion. In slow motion, of course, it looks like it was stopped a little bit, but we would have to see it in real time to see if it was continuous motion or not from Gabe Arnold to able to truly flip through or roll through that attack from McEnelly and avoid the 3 points.
Before he did that second roll that got into the scramble situation, it looked like he hesitated a little bit, and here we have it in full time. I mean, he rolls, but slightly prior to that, I think he had a moment of hesitation with that right arm of McEnelly around the waist of Arnold. I can see why the Minnesota coaches think it's a takedown. We're still waiting final word here from the referees.
All right, here comes the call. No takedown.
Call stands. That's going to lose Minnesota their challenge.
And again, just right off the whistle, so twitchy, fast, both wrestlers, both super aggressive. And the real storyline for Gabe Arnold this season has just been his versatility as a wrestler. He's almost been used as like a Swiss Army knife, like a utility player in baseball. He can play just about anywhere. Gabe Arnold, he's wrestled 74, he's wrestled 84, he's even wrestled 97 this season. I mean, he's been up and down the lineup and has been able to deliver at all 3 weights.
You know, coming into the season, there's a lot of question marks surrounding if Gabe Arnold was going to be with the team, and then for a moment it looked like he wasn't going to be for a little bit, but then it eventually came out, you know, Gabe's going to stay with the team, and boy, has he shown his versatility. Like you said, he has been proven, he has shown that the Hawkeyes have depth between 174 to 197, and with that win against Silas Allred, he's also shown he can defeat top 10 wrestlers as well.
And has proven that he can be one of the best at 184 as McEnelly tosses him out of that attack. I mean, that win against Silas Allred, I think, really was the exclamation point to Gabe Arnold on how important he is to this team, that he can be plugged in at just about any weight class and deliver for this team. If someone's banged up, needs an off day, or if someone actually does end up going down, Gabe Arnold can step up and be that guy at that weight class to compete in a dual setting or potentially even a Big Ten tournament.
Absolutely. And he is, you know, he's staying with one of the guys who came into the season as a national title contender. He's keeping it close, didn't give up a takedown. And he's showing he can hang with the best at 184.
And again, it might look like a lopsided match on the sheet because Gabe Arnold is unranked, but when you look at how well he's wrestled in his 3 years here, it's apparent that he can wrestle with some of the best in the country. But so can McEnelly, of course.
Yeah, McEnelly 13-1 this year after placing third last year as a freshman at the NCAAs. He's coming off a 21-6 Tech Fall win over Wisconsin's David Marlin. A lone loss came at the national duels to freshman, who's now number 3 ranked Aiden Sinclair, Missouri, 6-3. Sinclair, McEnelly, Ferrari, Welsh now. Those are the top 4 at this weight class. And if Gabe Arnold can get a win over one of those, you might have to really consider your lineup if you're Tom Brands.
And you mentioned McEnelly's Tech Fall against Wisconsin last weekend. McEnelly's won 8 matches in a row. 5 of them have ended in bonus points for the Gophers. Arnold.
He's a bonus point machine.
Arnold will drive McEnelly off the mat, and he's going to ride McEnelly tough here in this second period.
This is shaping up to be just like their classic last year. Gabe not giving McEnelly any room to breathe, staying all over him. This is what you want to see if you're Tom Brands and the rest of this Iowa coaching staff.
McEnelly works to his feet, trying to break free of the grasp of Gabe Arnold. And he's able to. Now, if you're Gabe Arnold, Of course, there's a lot of hype around this match. There's a lot of hype after he was able to upset Allred last weekend. But what does he need to do to knock off the 4th-ranked wrestler at 184?
Stay calm, stay composed. He already knows his offense is good enough to beat top 10 wrestlers at this weight class. You need to go out, wrestle the match. Don't let it be wrestled on paper. On paper, McEnelly beats Arnold. But you go out there and wrestle your match, who's to say Gabe Arnold doesn't walk away with another upset win?
And originally the hype was around Angelo Ferrari, of course, wrestling Max McEnelly. But it almost feels like the hype has even been heightened because Gabe Arnold gets his revenge here against Max McEnelly, or at least another chance at it, as he kicks free of that attack from McEnelly. I think no matter who was going to wrestle at 184, it was going to be an electrifying match.
Oh, absolutely. And without seeing Ferrari, but seeing Gabe Arnold, you know, there's going to be some questions. If Angelo comes back healthy, he gets the spot at 84, how will McEnelly, the first chance McEnelly would get to see him is Big Tens. Minnesota doesn't have Penn State on the schedule. Rocco, that would be the first time at the very least he'd get to see Rocco Welsh. So McEnelly needs to go out and keep wrestling and proving that he belongs in these conversations. And then when it comes time for the postseason, that's when you really got to turn it on to another level.
Short time here in the second period. Only points scored so far is McEnelly's escape. And it will hold to the third period.
Very similar to their match last year. Regulation ended at 1 apiece, and then it went to sudden victory. Could we see the same here under the lights in Wrestletown, USA?
And a tight team score as well, with Minnesota picking up some upset wins in the front half. This match could have huge implications to the end. Arnold escapes. We're tied at 1.
Like you mentioned, the team score, that is going to be huge over these next few matches.
We talked about how fast and twitchy both these wrestlers are, but you can tell that they've both been able to wear each other down. Now it's a chess match. Who is going to leave the first shot open? And that could very well decide 184. Here's a shot from McEnelly. Arnold sprawls out.
McEnelly's been the only one to really get to a leg with their shots. Gabe on a lot of fakes. I haven't really seen him commit on one just yet as we approach a minute 10 left here in this regulation.
Arnold pushing McEnelly to the edge of the mat. McEnelly gets back to center with 60 ticks remaining in the third period.
And both of these guys, they're so good at avoiding stall calls. They never go straight back. They're always circling side to side. Even with his back up against the edge of the mat, McEnelly does a great job of circling.
Continuing to circle Arnold with 30 seconds remaining. Fake shot from McEnelly. Another fake shot as Arnold slides by. 20 seconds. Shot from Arnold. McEnelly nearly able to dance around and pick up the ankle. And with 5 seconds left, this match, just like last year, is headed to overtime.
And like I said earlier, the difference maker very well could be the atmosphere. Last year was in Minneapolis. McEnelly had the Minnesota crowd behind him. This year we're in Iowa City. Gabe Arnold's got the Iowa crowd behind him. Will that be the difference maker?
A fresh 2 minutes. First takedown wins. This could very well decide the match. Shot from McEnelly, in on the single leg. Arnold breaks free.
Very nice crossface there from Gabe Arnold to defend a beautiful shot from McEnelly.
30 seconds gone in the overtime period. Gabe Arnold looking for the upset. Max McEnelly looking to continue his resume to the national championship. And they're going to bring each other back to center mat. Mano a mano. minute 10.
Gabe just needs one good shot on McEnelly. McEnelly has had the better shot so far.
Neither one giving up an inch of breathing room. Under a minute remaining in the overtime period. First points win. Arnold fake shot. McEnelly dancing around Arnold, circling him. Tried the attempt there. Arnold sprawls out, back to their feet, 30 seconds left. Arnold and McEnelly exchanging attempts. Arnold in on a shot again, but McEnelly dances around it once more. He's 20 on the clock.
These two are doing such a great job. It's like they know what each other's gonna throw.
McEnelly another shot. Back at it again. Single leg on Arnold. Rips him down to the mat. Covers up, edge of the mat, 3-point takedown. Max McEnelly right at the buzzer takes down Gabe Arnold. What a win, what a finish. Max McEnelly defends his title against Gabe Arnold.
Max McEnelly doing a repeat classic from last year in sudden victory. Again, 4-1 win for McEnelly.
Defends the sudden victory win from a year ago in Minneapolis. A very similar script as Max McEnelly at the final seconds picks up the takedown, edge of the mat. Arnold tried to roll through, but McEnelly able to hang on and defeat Gabe Arnold once again. And that is massive for the team score as Minnesota picks up 3 more points, now to 197. It'll be 30th ranked Gavin Nelson for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, and for Iowa, it is the freshman Harvey Letington. They said they wanted to use up his red shirt matches, and boy, what a match this could be for the young Harvey Letington.
He has to go out though and wrestle just like he normally would. He might know it in the back of his mind, but the duel hangs on this match. If Nelson can get the win, Minnesota will lock up their first dual win against the Hawkeyes since 2014.
Shot there from Letington. Nelson able to dance around, pick up the single leg, trip single takedown. Gavin Nelson, an early lead against Letington.
You could almost hear a pin drop in here. That's how quiet Minnesota has made Carver-Hawkeye Arena.
The Iowa Hawkeyes have won 11 straight against Minnesota. But if Gavin Nelson can pull off the victory, they will finally break their spell against the Hawks.
Not only that, head coach Brandon Eggum, in his career so far, 0-9 against Iowa. This would be his first ever dual win against Tom Brands and the Hawkeyes.
But Harvey Letington has a chance to either prolong it or stop it altogether. 8-1 this season, 3-2 unattached this year. His last match was against 28th ranked Wyatt Ingham of Wisconsin, lost 10-8 in a tight matchup at 197.
He can keep it close with these lower ranked wrestlers, but Iowa needs him to find a W.
A 3-time New Jersey state champion, 4-time finalist from Tinton Falls, New Jersey. Gavin Nelson, redshirt sophomore from Inver Grove Heights, Minnesota. Was a U23 World Team member in 2025. And with under 60 seconds remaining, Nelson leads 3-1.
That wasn't the only world team he's been a part of. In 2021, he was a part of the cadet world team, wrestling at 92 kilograms. Noticing a similar theme with some of these Minnesota wrestlers. A lot of them coming out of high school or even still in college can do it both in folk style and freestyle, and that is imperative if you want to have not only a good career in college, but even afterwards.
Short time here in the opening period. Fake shot there from Letington, edge of the mat, tries again, spins around, and Nelson shoves him off the mat. Right at the buzzer, that's how the first period. Nelson so far, the lone takedown. What does Letington need to do here to try and prevent Minnesota locking up the win at 197?
Well, being on top here, getting back points would be absolutely massive for Letington. But if you do give up the escape, you have to find your offense. You have to get to it to hopefully tie this match back up.
Letington able to stay on top, edge of the mat. Letington keeps his toes in bounds before being pulled out. The Hawkeye corner knows how important this match is. It's not just tonight's duel, but to their season.
So far this year, we've seen Letington and Sampson fill in a void after Masoma and Dean. He went down with a neck injury and since been dismissed from the team. Come to find out, he is now officially entered into the transfer portal. Probably going to take a medical red shirt this year. Come back next year for a team, and hopefully he still has, if he gets granted that medical red shirt, he would still have a technical shot at 4 national championships.
Nelson escapes, makes it a 3-point match. As Harvey Letington trying to fill the void left behind by Masoma and Dean. An electric start to the season for him, but ultimately let go. And now, can the true freshman Harvey Letington give the Hawkeyes a chance?
He's got to get to his offense. He's got to set it up a bit more than that. That shot from so far away, it can work, but when you have to close the gap just even a little bit more than what he shot that previous shot attempt at.
Nelson has done a great job of hand fighting Letington, making sure he can't find a clean shot. 20 seconds left in this second period. There's a shot from Letington. Great sprawl out from Nelson to avoid the takedown.
Now if you're Letington, you know you can get to the leg, so you need to get back to your offense here, because it literally is a 1 takedown difference.
8 seconds left in this second period. Both benches on their feet. And they will let this one go to the third period. Nelson leading 4-1 with a chance to shut the door on the 4th-ranked Hawkeyes.
The way Iowa claws back into this is an escape here from Letington. Hopefully pretty quickly. I mean, he's already up to his feet. Gets an escape in 6 seconds. Now, you have to get to your offense. You know you can get to the leg of Nelson. You have to get to it and finish it.
20 seconds gone in the final period at 197. Harvey Letington looking for a massive upset and new life for the Hawkeyes. In his true freshman year, could truly cement his name as an Iowa Hawkeye at 197. Can't find the leg there with 1:15.
No stall calls against Letington, against Nelson, I should say, either.
Needs to find a shot, reach for the leg, stall warning on Nelson. Can't wrestle for the stall, needed takedown. Letington able to slide by that attack from Nelson. Letington needs to find something quick.
He's got the Iowa faithful in the stands behind him. He's got his teammates cheering him on from the corner. He's got to go with 40 seconds left.
Trying to reach for that single leg. Nelson able to sprawl out. Letington shoving him towards the edge of the mat, and they go out with 34 seconds remaining. Hawkeye faithful begging for a stall.
They're not going to get it because Letington just drove him off the mat.
He's got to move quick with 30 ticks. This is the match. Can Nelson hang on and give the Gophers their first win against the Hawkeyes in nearly 12 years? Letington, edge of the mat, has the single leg. Can't quite get around. They go out with a 12 seconds. No stall call. No stall call. Hawkeye fans wanting it. Last chance for Harvey Letington.
He's got to go. He's got to go in 10 seconds.
There's the stall. He's got one more point. 5 second last breath for the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Minnesota Golden Gophers for the first time in nearly 12 years take down the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Gavin Nelson secures the first Minnesota dual win over the Hawkeyes since 2014. And that win, coincidentally, came right here in Carver.
A massive upset win. The Minnesota Golden Gophers make history in Iowa City. But we have one more to go with heavyweight coming up. A top 10 bout. Ranked Hopky will take center mat to close out today's duel.
Ben Keeter already in deep on a shot. As we mentioned, Minnesota has locked up this duel. It is their first dual win against the Hawkeyes since 2014, when right here in this very arena, they beat the Hawkeyes 19-15.
History made by this Golden Gopher squad as they walk into Iowa City and will walk away with a massive win. Ben Keeter deep in on a shot, trying to pick up 3 points. Hopky still has the upper half of Keeter, but now he's able to flatten him out for 3 points. Now again, Minnesota's going to walk away with the win, but what would a win mean here for Ben Keeter and his individual path to the NCAA tournament?
Well, in his tough stretch that we've alluded to, facing numerous wrestlers ranked in the top 15, he started the stretch 1-2 against them. So a win over Hopky here would be absolutely stellar, considering how he's wrestled, Cole Mirasola, how he's wrestled AJ Ferrari. Bouncing back after a loss to Ferrari would be huge here for Keeter.
Edge of the mat. And Keeter driving up the riding time, able to bring him back toward the mat. Hopky not able to do much right in front of his bench, trying to get back to his feet with 45 seconds, or excuse me, a minute 15 gone in this first period, and now they'll go out.
He's done an absolutely stellar job of getting that ankle. Like I said earlier, Ben Keeter getting to his offense is absolutely huge.
I mean, we talked about that stretch here. Let's go through it. Started off against Pitt, against 12th ranked Dayton Pitzer, won 2-0. Then fell 11-4 to top-ranked Younger Bastida. Then came back, won in sudden victory against 9th-ranked Braxton Amos of Wisconsin. Then back-to-back losses to Cole Mirasola of Penn State. And then last weekend to 4th-ranked AJ Ferrari of Nebraska. And it just doesn't get easier for him.
No, it doesn't stop, not even after tonight, because next week he'll see number 3 ranked Nick Feldman of Ohio State in Columbus. At the end of the regular season in Stillwater, he'll see number 7 ranked Connor Doucette of Oklahoma State. And then when we are back here in Carver on the Big Ten Network against Michigan, he'll see number 8 ranked Tay Gadali of Michigan.
And Hopky's been through the ringer as well. Battled AJ Ferrari a couple weeks ago, and then lost to Nick Feldman of Ohio State last weekend, and fell to Braxton Amos of Wisconsin that same weekend. And now, of course, has Ben Keeter.
And Ben Keeter, since getting that takedown, has put on an excellent ride on Hopky.
Hopky can't get back to his feet. Like you said, Ben Kueter driving up the riding time up over 2 minutes.
And it looks like he might end the first period with a successful ride out. That's not what you want to do, though, at the end of a period, is give up points.
An escape for Coy Hopky is able to get on the scoreboard in the first period. But he'll have some serious work to do as Kueter rode him out for over 2 minutes. And Hopky, will start to chip away at that riding time, starting on top.
He deferred the choice over to Kueter. Kueter chose bottom. We've seen him get out against some pretty high-level guys. He was able to get an escape in his loss against AJ Ferrari. So he can get out from underneath.
Hopky, a redshirt freshman from Cascade, Wisconsin, was named Big Ten Wrestler of the Week back in early November. Big Ten Wrestler of the Week back in early November. He's two-time Big Ten Freshman of the Week. As there's the escape from Ben Kueter to take a 3-point lead. Took third place at the 2025 U20 U.S. Open. Ben Kueter, as we talked about in the Open, four-time undefeated state champion, did not lose a single match in high school right here in Iowa City. Last year placed 8th at the NCAA championships.
He's looking to get back to All-American status, but like we said, that tough stretch is going to determine just how he might fall in come March. A little bit, another piece of history here for you, AJ Reister. This has been the first time Iowa has lost back-to-back home duels since 2017, when they lost to Oklahoma State and then they lost to Penn State.
History made today in Iowa City, no doubt. Final seconds here, the second period. Ben Kueter still leading 4-1, and the score will hold to the third. I mean, you got to give credit to Minnesota. I mean, the number of upsets, and you said it at the beginning. If Minnesota wanted to break their losing streak against the Hawkeyes, they were going to need some massive upsets. They got a lot. Drew Roberts upset Ryder Block. Charlie Millard upset Jordan Williams. Max McEnelly rode out Gabe Arnold all the way through. A sudden victory win there. Then Gavin Nelson got the job done against Harvey Letington at 197 to shut the door on the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Well, winning a majority of the matches usually bodes well for any wrestling team, and they've won 6 so far, looking to get their 7th win if Hopky can get back into this match.
Hopky back to his feet, trying to break free of the grasp of Ben Kueter, but he pulls him back down on the mat and tosses him out of the ring.
Kueter doing an excellent job of riding on top. No, the duel's not winnable, but if you can get bonus points, even though the duel's already locked up, it's still good to see your heavyweight going out and getting bonus points.
Especially for Kueter, who is continuing to build up that resume. We've talked about it a lot tonight. These are resume building matches, and tonight Minnesota has really bolstered not just their individual resumes, but their team resume. They are going to see some massive jumps in the rankings after tonight. And watch out, the Golden Gophers could go on a run, not just in the Big Ten tournament, but even the NCAA tournament after a performance like this.
Hit the nail right on the head. There is no gimme matches in the Big Ten. Heck, there's no real gimme matches anyway in wrestling. You go out. This is why you wrestle the matches. The matches aren't wrestled on paper.
There'll be a stall warning on Ben Kueter with 39.6 on the clock. Still leading 4-1. Riding time secured, practically 5-1. So Hopky will have to work quickly. He hasn't been able to break free of Kueter's grasp very well. He's only done it once, and that was right at the end of the first period.
Like I said, Keer has done an excellent job of wrestling on top. He got to a shot early, which is what you like to see from Keer, and then he always puts on a tough ride whenever he goes out.
Short time here in the final period. Keer looking to ride him out the final 10 seconds. Hopky breaks free, has to move quick if he wants anything here against Keer. But time will expire, and Ben Kueter will pick up the win over 10th ranked Troy Hopky and continue to build his resume toward the postseason. But at the end of the day, the 7th ranked Minnesota Golden Gophers coming to Iowa City and upset the